What's up, guys? This is Harry Dell coming at you with another video here on Boxing Chat. So, welcome to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about Amir Khan. Amir Khan has had a very interesting career, a very up and down career, and honestly, he's never going to be an elite fighter. Let me just cut straight to it. I don't want to make this video too long. Amir Khan, in my personal opinion, will never be an elite fighter. Many of you think he is an elite fighter. That's fine. Okay, many people are agreeing with me and saying he's not an elite fighter and he's just a hype job. And I believe Amir Khan is one of the biggest hype jobs of the past decade. And he has been brought up as if he is the next great thing in boxing. And look, there's one reason why he will never reach that status, and that's because he can't take a fucking punch. He just cannot take a punch. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you're trying to bring up the Maidana fight. All right, let's talk about the Maidana fight. Well, Maidana landed all these hard punches on Khan, and Khan made it all the way. Listen to this right now. If you watch that fight carefully, in the 10th round, when Maidana landed the overhand right, when he threw it properly, okay, he was able to hurt Amir Khan. But what did he do after that? What did Maidana do after that punch? What did he follow it up with? If you watch Maidana's attack, he didn't throw a single fucking technically correct punch after that fucking overhand right. Maidana was throwing a shitload of arm punches, just arm punch after arm punch, and they looked good and they looked nice. But if you've been in boxing, if you've boxed before, if you've fought, or if you even understand boxing and realize that if you don't technically throw the punch correctly, there's gonna be, you know, little to no power on those shots. And when you see that round, and you see how Maidana is pursuing Khan, and he's straight up squared up, standing just square, throwing his arm punches, okay, landing on Khan but throwing arm punches, he wasn't able to be effective. And on top of that, Maidana was exhausted, and he was just not conditioned to, one, think correctly, two, have the ability to cut Amir Khan off. You know, he wasn't able to cut the ring off. He dropped his hands. He was arm weary. He just, look, Khan was lucky that Maidana at that time was technically undisciplined. You know, he lacked technique. He had his moments here and there in his early in his career, but you know, there were moments, especially in the last few rounds of that fight, where he could have done better. But when it comes to taking a punch, Amir Khan cannot take a punch. In his early on in his career, when he fought Willie Lemon, he was dropped by a technically correct punch. And everybody talks about Amir Khan's chin. Oh, Amir Khan has a glass jaw. He doesn't have a chin. Blah 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 blah. You know, the fucked up part about this thing, about this whole situation, is Amir Khan can't take a punch anywhere. Like, fuck the jaw. Like, he can't take a punch to the head, to the head at all. He's been in the first time he was dropped against Willie Lemon. He got hit on the temple, and he was immediately hurt, and he got dropped. Okay, and let's look at the Prescott fight. If you look at the punch that lands on Khan, that drops Khan the first time. Okay, if anybody has seen that fight, and for the ones who have and the ones have noticed, you will know which punch I'm talking about and where it landed. And Prescott landed a left hook to the bridge of Amir Khan's nose. Okay, the bridge orbital, eyebrow area. It wasn't on the jaw. It wasn't in behind the neck or behind the ear. It was fucking close to his forehead. It was like over his eye and his nose area. And Khan dropped like he was dead. Like he just immediately folded. And I started like seeing this like pattern over and over of him getting hurt with punches that are technically correct, with the opponent having their feet planted, and they're throwing the arm they're throwing their punches correctly with force and technique. And also, it wasn't just on the jaw. I mean, of course, when he fought Danny Garcia, he one, landed it pinpoint behind the ear, and two, it was technically a good punch. And it just, Amir Khan just can't take a punch, guys. Let's just be fucking honest. He can't take a punch. When he fought Diaz and he took a right hand to the temple, he got dropped again. You see what his legs do when he gets hit with a punch, clean, and a technically sound punch, without a lot of power. But we all know that an arm punch isn't going to deliver as much power as somebody with a technically better punch. Okay. Going back to the Garcia fight, when the fight was stopped, the what was it, the fucking fourth knockdown, the third knock, I don't know, the last knockdown, which ended the fight, he was hit on top of the forehead. Look, Amir Khan just can't take a punch, and you see it in his style. You see it in his style today. In his last fight with Collazo, he fucking just punched and clinched. He's doing exactly what Vladimir Klitschko does now. If you see, I honestly, for the record, I fucking can't stand watching fucking Vladimir Klitschko fight. He fights. He just is terrible. I don't give a fuck what you say. Vladimir Klitschko fights like shit. And there's a reason why he fights like shit. Is because he can't take a fucking punch either. He has a fucking glass jaw. Okay? He just has a glass head. He can't take a punch. And when he finally realized, you know what? If I'm going to try to make it in the sport, I need to fight different. My ass can't take a punch. I could give a punch. So what's the best way to approach my next match, and pretty much my approach of my style for the rest of my career? Well, punch, and clinch. Punch, and clinch. Does anybody remember the Pacquiao fight? That was the worst fight in heavyweight history. That was that was terrible. It's like he has programmed himself to fight this way. Punch, clinch. Punch, get too close, clinch. He uses his entire weight on his opponents, and he's pretty much making sure he doesn't get tagged, because if he does, he'll get dropped. And even in the Pulev fight, Pulev in the opening round, he got him with the jab, and Klitschko was hurt. If you guys didn't see it, it's because you guys aren't looking at the right things. But Klitschko was clearly hurt, and he was able to, get out of the round and out of the situation. But if you saw, Klitschko was punching, clinching like always, and then Pulev was, getting exhausted, and he was taking punches too. Like I said, Klitschko can give a punch, but he can't take a punch. And this is why Klitschko isn't a star here in America, and why heavyweight boxing is a dead end right now. Because if you don't have an exciting heavyweight champion, nobody's gonna give a shit about watching that division. And the reason why he's not exciting is because he's too cautious. And here we go back with Amir Khan, which is the main focus of this video. Amir Khan has now changed his style to protect his chin. Virgil Hunter realized this. You know what, kid? You can't take a fucking punch. When he fought Julio Diaz, the most embarrassing thing for a fighter is to have your coach make excuses for you, or give you like a like false encouragement, or make you feel like you didn't do nothing wrong, or it's not your fault. Did you guys see the fight? And if you did, watch what happens in between rounds, after the round when he gets knocked down. The, the it's just hilarious what Virgil Hunter told Amir Khan. You know, he was telling Amir Khan, "You slipped, didn't you? Didn't you? You slipped. You did you trip over his foot? You did trip over his foot, didn't you?" And Amir Khan's face was fucking priceless. He was like, he knew he got fucking dropped legitimately, but oh my, I can't. I mean, you can't see my face. Obviously, you can only hear my voice. But his face of like he didn't want to say yes, he didn't want to say no. Like he didn't want to admit that he got dropped for real and it wasn't a trip. But Virgil Hunter was trying to make him feel better. Like, you tripped over his foot. It's okay. That wasn't a real knockdown. You're fine. But in Virgil Hunter's mind, he's like, damn, this motherfucker can't take a punch. For the next fight, we have to change things up. And that's what happened in the Colossal fight. He fought terrible, man. He got the win, but okay. You know, he was obviously worried about getting tagged on the chin. Or the head even, you know, in general. So he was punching, clinching. Khan's defense is, you know, he doesn't have a stationary defense, and by that I mean he can't be still and avoid punches by slipping, ducking, you know, moving side to side. He relies on his footwork, and was pretty much he relies on his foot movement as far as getting the fuck out the way and getting out of distance. But when he's trapped, he just puts his earmuffs on and he just hopefully tries to block some of the shots and clinch. But stationary defense is important in boxing because you're not always going to be able to get the fuck out the way, or you're going to be susceptible to getting caught on the way out. You know what I mean? And it's exhausting also to fight that way. But anyways, you know, those are my quick thoughts on Amir Khan. I've probably gone a little too long on this, but I don't know, man. We gotta wait and see this Saturday. We're gonna find out, and stay tuned for my prediction video for that fight coming up soon. So until next time, guys, see you later.